What's going on, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here. And I just want to touch on this whole Shaunie O'Neal thing that she made the comment about Shaq when she basically said that she don't think that she ever really loved Shaq. And the comment that I'm making is this, and of course you can probably see it from the title of this video, is that Shaunie O'Neal is the ultimate example, or the perfect example, of a war bride. And if you don't know what a war bride is, I'm just going to kind of break it down for you real quick. At least back in, the more or the less civilized time periods, the medieval times, and even before that, when countries would invade other countries, of course it's the men doing the invading because they're part of the army. So the men are doing the fighting, so they're doing the invading on behalf of whatever king or emperor or whomever. And then once that other country is conquered, there's going to be two things that we know are going to happen. There's going to be several other things happening, but two things are going to happen. Number one is that most of the men from the place being conquered are probably going to be offed. They're going to be offed, sent off into the next life, and the women are going to be taken by the soldiers who did the conquering. So the conquerors are going to come in and they're going to snatch up women. And so the women pretty much, in order to adapt, what they have to do is they have to get their mindset ready for not only for their mate to be offed and, transition to the next life. So they got to witness, their partner. I don't know whether it's love or not, but let's just assume they're in love. She has to witness her partner being, terminated. And then she has to go through an experience of being claimed by a new man that she doesn't know, that she's not giving permission to her, but he's going to take her anyway. So in order for her to do that, and as a survival mechanism, she shuts down. She basically has to immediately forget about the guy that she was with, and she has to adapt to this new lifestyle. And that involves shutting off a lot of emotions. And we know women are emotional creatures. So what you see Shaunie O'Neal doing, and trust me, I've been through this before. With the old flame way back in the day, probably about 30 years ago. What they do is once the relationship is over with you, and they get and find a new quote unquote sponsor or new man that they think, that has now claimed them, that has put his hand, make, how they say in the jail. I don't even know if it's true, but they say, put your hand in my back pocket. That unclaims you. So now she has her hand in the new man's back pocket and he's leading her around. And, she's found her a new boo thing to hit the streets with. Now she's going to talk crap about the old man that she was with. And now she has to shut off those feelings and show the new man, hey, I'm committed to you. And in order to show the new man she's committed to him is by dogging the previous man out. And that's exactly what Shaunie is doing. Shaunie is basically, it's very disrespectful. I'm not justifying anything that she's doing. I'm just telling y'all what a war bride is. But Shaunie O'Neal is displaying war bride tendencies. She's in a new relationship. She's found a new man. And I think she's, it's like, okay, this is going to work. They're married. And so now she has to negate everything that the other man did. And so even though that man gave her the children that she has, and I'm talking about Shaq, she's talking about the man that she once married, for richer, for poor, sickness and health, death to you part. She took vows with this man. And I'm not trying to say, we're not getting into whether the vows are broken or not, but in order for you to marry somebody, you would think that there was some love there. I don't care even if the relationship did start out with infatuation or she was in love with who he was more so, or his career more so than him. Eventually, I'm pretty sure when you're with somebody in a house living with someone for those many years, love comes up, feelings come up. And trust me, I've had that happen to me before. I've had a woman, just a quick story. I had a girl that I was chasing, and once again, she was a little hood chick, really hood chick. And she just was like, she wasn't really feeling me all like that. This is way back in the day. This was back in the day. She wasn't really feeling me like that, but I was around so much. She dealt with me because she just dealt with me. I don't know why. I wasn't giving her a whole bunch of stuff. Like again, I was young. I was, it was young. I was in college, but I was around enough. She dealt with me. I don't know really. I guess maybe I was a different type of dude, but she would always kind of revert back, like, and say little comments, like, basically kind of crediting, basically those comments reverted to like street credibility. But she hung out with me, and then after a while, I noticed her attitude towards me changed. Her attitude towards me changed. Her disposition towards me changed. She started being like, because I guess she was with me enough and she was in my world enough that she was just kind of like, I like being with this guy. And I knew it was genuine because of the actions that she would do. She would do, those affectionate actions for me. She didn't have, like I said, she didn't have a lot. She didn't have a whole bunch of stuff, but she would, do stuff like cook for me. She would, call me. Like she would sometimes, and then even if we got mad at each other, and then you get to that point where you're like, man, I'm not even gonna call her for a while. She would be the one picking up the phone, being like, I know you miss me. Where you at? You get those type of things because in first, and this is just my experience, but when you initially meet someone, it's the man that's doing all of the pursuing. It's the man, the one that's really into the woman, all like that, and she's really not into him. When you first meet someone, she's more just like, girl, please, I got this dude, I got several dudes. But once she settles in and commits to one guy, it's going to be the woman who's going to be more invested and more emotionally tied in. And then the man is going to be the one, kind of, That's just my experience. So I'm saying all that to say this is that Shaunie, I know even after with all of those years and you pushing out some children that share DNA with you and Shaquille O'Neal, you knew you were in love with this man. There was love at one point in time. But for you to disrespect this man, to negate all that after what he's done for you, even if he's cheated on you, and we know that Shaq did that, and I'm not making an excuse for the man, and I'm not giving him a I'm not condoning it. And I'm not denouncing it either. It is what it is. That's for y'all to decide, and it's ultimately for Shaunie to decide. But regardless of his actions, you have to look back and at least say, this man gave me the children that I have. Some of the, not all of them, but some of my children are by him. I married this man. This man gave me, he increased my life financially. He bettered my life financially. We had good experiences together. And for you to come out and basically crap on this man and basically like, I never loved you, that is very disrespectful. And even let's just play devil's advocate and say that she really didn't love this man, which she didn't love Shaq, which I find highly unlikely. Let's just say she honestly did feel that way. Why would you want to come out and make a public service announcement stating that? Particularly with this is the children, the father of your children. So basically you're telling your kids y'all weren't made out of love, you were made out of a transactional relationship. You're basically just kind of, if you've won, and I'm talking to Shaunie, if Shaunie's won, if she's walked away $20 million richer, 50 million, I don't know how much money she's gotten from Shaq, but I'm pretty sure Shaq helped her make her a millionaire. He moved her into a different socioeconomic bracket. He gave you access to a particular world where you could have your own television show. Because trust me, that Basketball Wives doesn't happen without Shaq coming into her life. I believe that. I think it's highly unlikely that that would have occurred. And so also too, if you've won and you've become, you've got the TV shows that you got the money that you got, and then you got the new man that you have that's probably gonna, love you maybe the way that you want to be loved. Why kick somebody when they're down? Why kick Shaq when he's down? And why kick your ex-husband, the father of your children, down? And so that's all I wanted to say about this. And so, your comments, I would love to hear from you. So drop comments in the comment section. Also hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.